All right, welcome back to another driving podcast thing. That's what we'll call these. Going for a drive in the McLaren.
Going for a drive in the McLaren with friends and doing driving while podcasts.
Is that what that's... No wonder you have the most successful vlogs on YouTube with those titling schemes.
I wish I had the most successful vlogs.
I'm sure everyone here knows Steve because, we've done plenty of videos together, but for the few people watching this who don't, you're Steven Suptic.
Hello! I do YouTube vlogs, but alternative lifestyle videos.
I feel like you're the only person I've ever seen with vlogs on YouTube where it's such uniform good feedback in the comments of people, like, they're giving you shit, but they're kindly giving you shit.
And it's, like, very endearing because it's tough love. Also, have you ever pissed anybody off based on, like, going over a speed bump? Because you have to hit it at such an angle that nobody behind you can, everybody's got to be like,
they're probably like, what is he doing, first of all? And second of all, if there is someone behind me on this, I just pull over and let them go. Because I try to be a nice person. I live my life to the creed of inconveniencing other people as little as I possibly can. And
that's a good way to live.
Yeah, I like to think so. And if I'm holding someone up, that's like a no-no.
I can attest to that because there have been points where you have not had any water in your house.
What are you talking about?
Remember that? I think it was the second to last time I was over. I was just like, "Hey, is there water?" And then you were just finished drinking your last bottle of water. And you're like, "Oh." So I think that maybe you're an inconvenient person a lot of the time, but I'd say that that's not always true. I think everybody
some
makes
exceptions.
Mistakes.
No, I'm sure that I have probably inadvertently ruined someone's life by, I don't know, turning right in front of them. It caused them to be delayed like 2 seconds to the place they were going.
To an important meeting.
And as such, those 2 seconds caused them to get into a fatal car accident.
Yeah, and on that same note, I was also going to lead on to the horrible car accident note because I thought you were just going soft with I made him miss a meeting, and then I was going to just I made him die. But
I went
immediately
really far.
cut to the chase. Ooh, I was hoping you were going to do this.
Yeah, we got someone in front of us, unfortunately.
Oh, and you guys,
Two people.
It just grips the road so well.
It is. This thing, when you go from this thing to the Ferrari, and I love the Ferrari, but it feels like a boat in comparison. This is just like the most true to the road race car I think I've ever had the chance to drive.
I mean, it's a Hooper car, dude.
It is. That was your name for
Between a Super and a hypercar. I mean, this can compete with certain hypercars, right?
Yeah, I'm not like the Holy Trinity, but it's pretty up there. I would say for the price, it's probably about as high as you can go.
I mean, it's definitely, for the price, it's definitely a better deal than the Ford GT.
Ouch. That hurts.
I mean, that's not necessarily true, though, because the Ford GT should retain its value, right? If not,
yeah,
increase.
I mean, this, in fairness, in comparison to, like, the 650S, it should hold its value. I mean, when I go to sell, we'll find out. But, like, the 650S has dropped quite a bit.
Yeah.
And you've like, looked at them.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, more of like a sweaty drool dream of looking at a 650S because, I mean, with the 720S coming out, it's like, who knows, maybe they'll get down to 180 in the next couple, like, a year and a half, which is still very much out of my price range right now, but if I'm, like, doing well in the next year and a half, I've always wanted to own a McLaren.
I mean, your vlogs are top quality content, so I feel like you have a chance to get there.
I hope.
That was the most awkward fist bump
Yeah, how did you do that?
I'm like, I don't have flexible wrists. People are going to watch that and be like, what was that? Jesus Christ.
How often do you go for like a fist bump or a handshake and it just completely does not connect?
Can I tell you what my greatest, most uncomfortable fear in life is?
Yes, please.
It's going for a greeting, and it's not the same greeting the other person is going to, and it just completely mismatches. There needs to be a uniform greeting. By the way, the reason we're going very slow, people, is because we're stuck behind someone who's
this is why I've
not from California.
I want to bring you to a church, like a
what
kind of church where they sing like "Moving on up to the east side." Nobody sings that, but you know what I mean. And I want to bring you there and just have you greet everybody and just ruin every single handshake.
Well, so there needs to be a like uniform thing because it could be a handshake, it could be a hug, it could be the handshake hug, but then there's always, even for the handshake hugs, there's like that follow-up. Do I shake after? Do I do like a fist bump after? What are we going for here?
Do you go for hugs? Are you a hug person?
No, usually a hug is a goodbye.
Okay.
But sometimes people do, for the greeting, they do the half-hug handshake thing. There's got to be a name for that I just don't know.
A handshake hug? Oh, you mean like
the side
is it the
hug
side handshake and then you pull them in?
Yep. What's that called? Is there an official word for that?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But we can come up with one right now.
What is it?
Handshake hug, the shank.
Yeah. That sounds like a good, appealing way to.
I don't think it could be misinterpreted in any way possible, any shape or form.
Sir, what were you doing on the night of the 15th? Well, I saw my friend. I shanked him because we're pretty good friends.
Oh, sorry, yes, I know that term. Thank you. Okay, court adjourned. Bangarang. It's as easy as that, dude. Shanking.
You've been acquitted. Thanks.
I cannot believe how much this sticks to the road. Is it because it has such low ground clearance? And is it what makes it stick to the road so well?
So, wait, we're going really slow because it's a rough road, and you're like saying how
well. I mean, back there when you were going down specifically, I just didn't want to interrupt you when you were talking about shanking.
You know what? I don't care. I'm going to wait it. I'm waiting.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
We just hit the orange. I'm like, nope, 2 cars there. We're gonna
no eco mode though, huh?
Yeah, I know, it doesn't shut the engine off when you come to a stop.
Which doesn't do anything.
I hate that.
Why? It must be just a government stipulation that they make car makers do that.
So I think that I like how we just jump between so many topics.
Sorry,
right now.
Yeah, I just have so much to bring to the table, or so much to ask.
Oh wait, we'll start with sticking to the road as we're going really slow over a rough road. It has, I think the tires on this, it has the P0 Trofeos, and those are pretty good tires. So that's one thing. The other is, yes, it's low to the ground, it has good downforce, but that doesn't really come into play when you're going really slowly.
Yeah. Because you can even tell when you are going slow. You can just tell that it's just like...
It has really good steering feel, which is a hard thing to explain without actually getting behind the wheel of it.
Yeah, because I mean, I base bad steering off of a Mustang. You drive a rental Mustang and you're like, oh God, it takes me forever to turn it,
But yeah, some cars, it's really floppy, and it feels like there are like a lot of systems in between you turning and the road, whereas usually the higher you go, it should be the easier it is to kind of feel out where it's going to turn. So there's that element to it, which I feel like just makes it seem more planted, gives it the illusion of that.
Is the handling on this really tight?
Yes. No, it's great.
I noticed that was the difference between, because I had the regular F-Type coupe, coupe, not coupe, I guess.
I say coupe.
For
too much top gear.
A year and a half, and then I just upgraded recently to the F-Type R, and the handling on the F-Type R is looser.
You said, so because it has all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, you were like a little bit, you didn't know how you felt about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could just be blowing smoke out of my ass, but it doesn't feel like, when I had the rear-wheel drive, just the coupe, it was, oh my God, oh, whoa. Sorry, real quick, when I got the new F-Type, it goes 0 to 60 a little bit faster than the other one. And
quite a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like 3.5, I think, which is pretty reasonable for the price. And then I was like, okay, kid, let's do a 0 to 60 test. Get out your phone and do the stopwatch.
You did it that way.
Yeah, like it was not going to work no matter what, because there's no way we could time it and make it really accurate. But I stomp on the gas, and Kip just goes immediately, like it's totally real. Just goes, oh, whoa, and drops his phone. Neither of us are really used to that whole lifestyle of being able to go 0 to 60 that quickly.
Right.
Oh my God.
What?
This is just insane. This thing is like, you just never feel unsafe in it.
No, you feel very confident, which may or may not be a good thing. But then again, I feel like maybe I'm overvaluing myself here, but I have had a few years of like supercar experience, so I've gotten used to it enough. And also I know this road pretty well, so I can try to avoid the parts that would scrape it.
You ever get any tickets?
Nope.
How?
I've gotten, first of all, we are obeying all posted speed limit signs right now. And secondly, I've gotten one speeding ticket in the oold Ferrari 458 Coupe that I had, and that was for going at the same speed everyone goes on this road. It was on San Vicente from Brentwood to Santa Monica, which is a wide, straight road that everyone goes fast on. I'm sure you've driven on it.
Probably.
And I was going 50 in a 35. So.
Oh, that's not bad at all. I got a almost a reckless driving ticket in Utah. But luckily the speed limits there are 80.
Really? Do they have 80 speed limits?
Oh, yeah. It's really convenient. Huh. But, and this was in my old car. And I was going 110.
Oh, yeah, that usually would be a reckless driving ticket.
But the cop, I read online previously, like, how do you alleviate one of those kind of situations? Because there has to be something that just puts the cop in a better mood. And one way you can do that, potentially, depends on the cop, but a lot of them do very much respect this, and because it makes them safer, or at least feel safer. You turn the lights on your car, windows down, and you put your hands on the steering wheel or the dash or something, and they come over and they're like, okay, pretty good.
You're talking about instead of, I don't know, reaching into your glove compartment as they
pulling out your
vehicle?
gun, yeah, exactly.
Because that's always a wise
that's what
idea.
I normally do. I normally pop open the glove compartment, pull out my Glock, and I'm like, oh, what's wrong, officer?
Because you saying that, I'm like, what else would you do, though, really?
That's fair. Is that what you would normally do?
Yeah, I would just, I wouldn't, are you talking like putting on your hazard lights or something?
Yeah, hazards and all that. But normally I think people just sit in their seat and they don't put their hands anywhere, so then the cops...
I hold them on the, well, at least the one time I was pulled over, I'm like,
you just immediately go like, oh, they're here, I'm Jordan Maron, I kept the
hide the drugs!
Oh.
No, you keep your hands on the wheel where they can see, and then when they say license and registration, you say, I'm going into my glove compartment to get it. Also, I feel like there's going to be some profiling here in that seeing some kid in a supercar, they're probably not terribly worried about them pulling out a gun.
Well, they should be.
I know, it's a wild world out there. You got to protect your personal property.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to fucking with the law. Like, it's not something I haven't done in the past, and it's something I will continue to do in the future.
For sure. I agree. We all have a wild side to us.
Wow, I don't know if I should talk about this. I was driving on the 101 the other day, and I was almost towards Lancashire, and I was going fast. I was going probably like 110.
Okay, that's good to admit on video.
It was midday, and there was a cop that I believe had just finished pulling someone else over.
Yeah.
And they were on my right, and, well, you can imagine, woof, and they turned on their lights, and I was like, oh, I'm so close to Lancashire. So then I got off on Lancashire immediately, and it was a green light, and I got the hell out of there. And that was the closest I've come.
Wow.
And the most adrenaline I've ever felt. I will never do that again, and I have not sped since, and this was just a couple days ago.
He says he will not speed since.
It's been 2 days without an accident. Yeah.
You haven't fallen off the wagon yet.
But everybody, I realized, in the crew that I work with has their own vices that will prevent them from, like, having a better future. Kibbs is being Canadian.
That's a difficult one to overcome.
Visa situation.
Especially because you were born with it.
It's and then now, they're not accepting conditions like what is that called?
Oh, you mean for medical care?
Pre-existing conditions, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I have to deal with the whole getting health insurance for the first time come, like 8 months from now.
It's not too bad. It's not like a hard thing unless you're doing it for employees, and
I do have to do that.
That's what's
because I have to do the corporate, because, well, ultimately I could either pay for it out of personal expense, or I can pay for it out of the corporation and for two people, and it ends up basically being the same cost regardless.
Okay.
So it's like I may as well do the corporate healthcare unless I start getting lots of employees, in which case, yes, then it will be expensive.
Have you been doing just freelance work before this? Has it all been 1099s and 1099 miscellaneous?
Oh, like
forms
for all the animations and all that
stuff?
For everything. Yeah. That's all just work on contract.
Okay. That's what I'm going to be doing with my editor and with James.
Okay.
Just freelance work for the next year, and then if there's a reason to make them full time, then I will. But then I have to figure out health insurance and all that jazz, and there's already too much to figure out now where it's just not worth it. I'd rather just give them the money and
No, so this is such interesting talk for the people watching this, but
I mean, it's business creation. You know, it's like if you're ever interested in creating a YouTube channel and having it ever be something more, it's kind of interesting to see how people go about this process, which is exactly what I'm filming in all these videos.
Right, right. No, I guess that's true.
There's something about it that's just very transparent and very. I think it's informative in a way.
Yeah. So generally, and what my accountant has told me, the differentiating factor is if you are on a day-to-day basis kind of like controlling what the work is that they're doing, that's employee. Whereas if you're saying here is like an end goal deadline, just get it done on your own time, they're working from home, that sort of thing, then that's contract. And so that's the definition.
So if we're all working out of an office,
there's a good I'm not going to give you any legal advice here on this video. I'm going to tell you to speak with your accountants on that.
I don't have an accountant, Jordan. I look over my own contracts and I...
Wait, do you actually not have an accountant?
No. I have like $1,000 in my bank account.
You should probably get an accountant. Wait, are you saying you're talking about just having pot and F-Type R and you're saying you have $1,000 in your bank account?
Well, yeah, I spend it on the F-Type R.
Jesus Christ. All right. We're getting real deep into finances here in this video, folks. Anyway, what were we talking about before?
We were talking about the McLaren and how they'd make you drive better, and how the 720S, well, that was what I was going to lead into eventually, is how the 720S is supposed to like make everybody a professional driver.
Yeah, well, so it does increase your road confidence tremendously.
Why is that? Have you test driven it at all?
No, I'm saying like supercars in general, modern supercars. I have not test driven the 720, I've only sat in it.
How is it comfortable?
It's actually, it feels like you're in a bubble almost. It's really
so
open, spacious. You can see out all over the place. It has no visibility issues like most cars, including this one.
This one's not as bad as mine.
The problem...
Oh, actually, that is so high up.
The problem with most supercars is that your blind spot on your left side, so when you're changing lanes there, you just can't see anything. So you have to like use your mirror and kind of just be aware of, is there a car next to me right now? Maybe wait for someone to pass. You're like, now I know there's an opening, because you just can't see.
Yeah. Have you ever had a scare, like where you thought you were going to hit somebody?
I have once or twice. Actually, you know, funny enough, the Fiat is even worse. I've had a couple in the Fiat where I've like actually started changing lanes, and then it's like, oh shit, there's someone there. So worse than that. Yeah, this one, I've caught
like
myself.
Minivan in a way.
I've caught myself. Are minivans bad visibility?
I mean, the one that I rented was a Dodge minivan. It was for when we went to Idlewild, and I had to bring all the boys in the van. I almost hit somebody like on three separate occasions because when I'm changing lanes, like I can't see anything on the back left. There's a huge blind spot, and it's so awful. I don't think I'm ever gonna get a minivan now, honestly. Oh, what the hell?
That was a 512, I think.
A 512?
I believe so.
Oh wow. You have a very
someone might have caught that and be like, you were so off base. Do you even Ferrari dude who owns one? I'm gonna get to point out to you the spot where I whacked.
The
car. Yeah, we're not gonna go over it.
We're not gonna make a brief stop.
We're gonna go to the gas station. Oh no, we'll pay our respects here.
Yeah, I was about to say, what if there's a segment in this video where we get out of the car very briefly with the front GoPro pointed at the spot?
It's right there. It's right there. We don't have time, but it's right. See, it doesn't even look like it. If you turn left right there,
oh god,
it kills it. You die.
And that was, actually that would not affect my car at all, which is so strange. Another difference I noticed between, and I don't think anybody would care about this one. There's a McLaren right here, an F-Type. Oh, good job. The original F-Type I had was just the 2015 Coupe. It's like the base version of it. Yeah. It's still very low to the ground for whatever reason, and the splitter in the front is super low. I would scrape all the time, and it was rear-wheel drive. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but the wheels were 18 inches. The new one is 19-inch. They have 19-inch wheels, and it never scrapes, and I feel like it's higher off the ground.
You've just gotten like more used to it.
Maybe, but even until like I was trading in the original F-Type, I was scraping. And immediately,
how were you? Did you just not take anything at an angle?
No, I do. I take. There's just sometimes where you can't. Like when I'm getting out of Carl's Jr.
Right there. It doesn't look it though.
It looks bad, dude. It looks bad.
Okay, whatever.
I get why it's scraped, because this has like 2 centimeters ground clearance.
Well, and then so what I was saying, before we started the actual podcast thing here is that I was with someone driving when I scraped it. Oh,
wow! Is that a TDF?
That's
now?
a cannonball wrapped F12. Nice.
Wow. I'm not a huge fan of. Is it just the TDF that has it, or is it all F12s? And it's the three lines on the back of it towards the exhaust area.
The 3 lines.
They have they have 3 almost like a raptor claw.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'd have to look at it. But I was driving with someone else. That's why I wasn't paying close enough attention. I didn't see it coming.
So now pretend I'm that person. Pretend you just hit it. Give me the reaction that you had before. Oh,
it was more of a God damn it. And you've been in the car. We scraped hard on Pokemon and caught that on video.
Yeah, and you cried for 2 hours.
I did.
I just held up the number 3.
2 hours. So after we hit, though, we literally 2 seconds later, right after the turn, we pull up alongside Lewis Hamilton, and then my friend who was in the car the scrape is past his mind.
Who is Lewis Hamilton?
F1 champion. So, and is he still on McLaren? I think he's still on McLaren, or
he's
at least
the Lord
he was
of McLaren.
Yeah, and he didn't acknowledge the fact that there was a 675 next to him at all.
Because why would he?
Yeah, why bother?
Owns every car that exists.
Probably. So he was in a Porsche Turbo S, interestingly enough.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a little tamer than you would think. Granted, it was a nice looking, well spec'd. It was like white mane with some black contrast. It was
at that point where you have any car that you've ever wanted, it's probably just about driving the ones that you truly find fun. You know?
Yeah, probably.
Oh God, even like looking down at that little. Oh wow. This is just unreal how quick it is.
It's a nice little.
And then I'm going to show Jordan my car after this.
Yeah, we're
going to be wildly underimpressed.
I don't know if we're going to continue the video because that'll be a big loop, but yeah,
I'll put it in mine.
Okay.
And then I'll give you the test drive through that. And see how
you're just like very confident in my ability to drive because I've never let anyone else drive. You really did.
Yeah.
The guy who hit you on a bike.
Yep. And Alyssa just drove it the other day because I was too hungover.
All right. I have let someone drive the Fiat before.
Yeah, I will never drive a 675 because you will never let me drive this car. And I've come to terms with that. Like, I'm fine with that. Like, it's not going to break.
But so is everyone. You shouldn't take offense to it because it's not you.
You're telling me you wouldn't let, like, Syndicate drive this car either?
No.
But he could pay for it. Like, it's not about... Obviously, with my $1,000 in the bank account.
I don't want the car damaged. I don't want to deal with damage. I don't want to deal with getting things fixed. Not that that's going to happen. But for anyone who has not driven a car like this before, it's less my worrying about them hitting something. It's more the scraping because it's very, very doubtful that anyone's going to account for how low the car is. Even I have a hard time sometimes.
So what about this scenario? Like, let's take this for example. Say I eventually get a car as low as this.
Okay? Yes, that is a prerequisite.
And I have a car as low as this. I've been driving it for like a year.
If you get a Porsche GT3.
Can you give me a car then?
If you get a Porsche GT3.
Is that the lowest car?
It's about the same as this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so if you get one of those, then yes, you can drive this after you've gotten used to that. GT3,
those
GT3
are great
RS.
Cars, too.
I've heard great things.
Very few creature comforts.
I've never driven one, but they look great, and they are low as hell and scrape on lots of things.
Why does, and this goes back to what we were talking about before, why does the 720S make you a better driver, or at least make you feel like you're a better driver?
I would imagine that I couldn't... I'm sure there's a bunch of different little components to different systems that do that, but I actually don't know enough about the engineering.
Also, where the hell are we?
We're in Westwood right now because I need to get gas because we're real low.
Is Westwood between like West Hollywood and Beverly Hills?
No, it's actually more west.
So there's actually a place called Westwood.
It's where UCLA is. Have you never been to this area before?
Never. And I've lived here for 2 years now?
Huh.
Wait, since 2000. Well, I've lived where I currently live for like a year and a half, and then I lived in Toluca Lake for a year. So I've lived here 2.5 years. Wow. Wow, and I used to do gaming. I used to do Minecraft.
I'm surprised you even brought that up because you have like a past that you don't like to relive.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
MLG.
I've started like, I even thought about this last night. I was, oh wow, drop top.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about it last night, and yeah, I used to do Minecraft, and it's not like a past I'm truly regretful of.
You did delete all your videos.
Yeah, and that's just because I wanted my videos to be more bingeable.
Right. I mean, it makes sense that if everything is of the same style of content on one channel, which was my approach in even making this vlog channel to begin with.
Yeah.
Like, if people see one video and then everything else is going to be similar, then they can keep watching through and always be happy with it. So, no, I totally get it.
Yeah, the plan was just to make it more bingeable, and I was worried that if people watched previous videos and it suddenly just the genre changed, they were going to think like, oh, well, there's a chance he's going to upload this in the future, and that's not what I'm a fan of. I'm not going to choose to subscribe to that.
No, I agree. That's I feel like I probably run into that with the Captain Sparkles channel because there is so much different stuff on there. But I feel like we're too far along at this point for that to ever have any real change, which is why.
I mean, I thought so too, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go about deleting videos. That's not going to happen. But I have the vlog channel. I feel like that's enough of a new thing to focus on. And I always like trying to do new projects. I have the music channel. I'm like, you know what? We're good in the way of new projects. I don't need to then also go and be like, I'm going to start fresh on Captain Sparkles too.
It's almost like a very manic and unwise. I mean, it's definitely not a decision that someone who is like a normal, careful, and like smart businessman would do. You know, it's not like people would look at that decision and be like, that guy has emotional problems.
I don't know. Companies rebrand, and I feel like when it's just you and you're working for yourself, and it's hard to not look at other people and be like, what are they doing right? I mean, I've definitely gotten better about that, but you're on your own. And sometimes you're just like, I got to do something about this.
Oh, yeah. When I was doing the Try Not to Laugh challenges and all of the reaction videos, it was very devastating to just my creative ability. Like, I would make those videos and I would never feel good about them.
You're talking to the guy who's doing Reddit reaction videos right now.
And yeah, I mean, it's like, honestly, the Reddit reaction ones were not, they were at least somewhat fun to do.
I actually enjoy it. Yeah. And funny enough, like Nick, when he's editing them, I have gotten like more discussion because he's like enjoyed watching some of the GIFs and
the
stuff.
Red reaction ones were some of my favorite ones to do. But I'm talking about like specifically the ones where you have to really force like fake emotions.
You're like doing Try Not to Laugh challenges where you absolutely are dead inside and you just don't want to laugh ever.
Yeah, on a day
where
you're like something's gone wrong.
Oh well, then don't do it on a day where something's gone horribly wrong.
But when you're a content creator, that's not how that works.
There are alternatives. You don't have to do a Try Not to Laugh challenge that day.
And you know what the alternative to just a manic depressive state is? Completely rebranding and deleting all your previous videos.
Hey, it worked though. You seem to be happy. Although I have told you before, and I'm glad that you aren't doing like every day anymore, because I was like, dude, you're gonna burn out so hard.
Well, what sucks is
every day.
What is really like the worst part about that is I desperately want to do every day, and I believe that I can, and that's why we're doing the editor. But it's not that I'm getting burnt out. In fact, every video is such a pleasure to make every single time. It's so much fun. It's like what I'm truly interested in, it because it's a passion project and it's ego based because it's all about me.
It's fun, but to come up with an idea every day that is going to be fun, that's the problem is coming up with what to do. It's not the act of going and shooting. And so I know you've talked about like getting a producer, which is certainly going to be helpful so they can bounce ideas off of you and be like, this is what you're going to do today, which will be super
But in many ways, I've realized that I don't have the budget for a producer. So we are all in a certain way producing videos. Like Parker today, we're going to shoot a video at his house, and it's entirely his idea. So
that's cool.
It'll be bad, but like we're going to go over and do it anyway. And then James comes up with ideas. We have Kib who comes up with ideas. So we're all taking different roles in this, and it works out, hopefully. So my goal is to produce at least 5 videos a week on my personal channel, which is already what I'm doing. I am super frustrated whenever I miss a day. And then, then we have a new channel that we're going to do too.
You really have another channel. How are you going to keep up with all that stuff, my man?
Employees and delegation, you know?
I suppose so.
Only way to do it. And then the good news is about what we're creating right now is we're going to prep 2 months of content, well, not 2 months, but like a month of content ahead of time and figure out like how to get a really good workflow going. So I legitimately think it's possible because we have a plan to do 3 videos on this new channel a week that are based off of a web series type feel, and 1 podcast. And podcasts are never hard, so yeah.
We're doing a podcast right now, basically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty pleasurable. We're gonna take a quick moment for me to get gas, and then we'll resume.
I'll wait in the car.
Will you?
Do you leave the air conditioning on?
No, I have to turn the car off.
Do you
We're getting
turn
gas.
the car off? Okay, I'll stay in the car.
We're getting gas.
Okay.
Do you not turn your car off when you get gas?
Sometimes I do.
That's good.
I'll be that guy that ends up on the camera, like looking down that's on fire.
Yeah,
like, it's
like a fire that goes back up. I think there's protection so that doesn't happen, but don't do that.
This is what I would describe as a very awkward conversation between Jordan and a man who immediately discussed the acceleration of a Tesla in comparison. 2 different worlds. Why didn't you get a Tesla?
He was asking if the Tesla was quicker, which it is.
Yeah, why is that?
Because the electric motors have crazy torque.
How? Why can't any car have that? Because Elon Musk is a genius?
Yep. Elon Musk invented electricity. Yeah. All right, and we are off. I hope you all enjoyed that tremendous gas break where, yeah, these cars are dude magnets.
Fuck yeah, dude.
I've wanted to make like a little video about this before.
Doug DeMuro already did.
Did he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I want it, but explain it like in my own terms, okay? Everyone's done a "Do Supercars Attract Females" video who owns a supercar.
Speaking of which, that was the creepiest lady I have ever seen back there, staring at you.
Oh, I did not see her.
She was looking at you like...
All right, that's sick.
Oh man, is this gonna scrape?
Nope, I've done this driveway many times. I just have to reverse, get more of an angle, and anyone who ever comes out behind me is like, what is he doing?
Have you ever, or is this the gas station you...
I've filled up at this gas station a lot of times.
Is there a specific type of gas that you, I mean not type of gas, but is there like a station, do you normally go to Chevron, Shell, like?
No, I just go to whatever has a driveway I can get into.
Shell prides themselves off of
their driveways?
Having the best V+ gas or whatever it's called.
Oh, I thought you actually meant they advertise that they have good driveways.
Yeah, they're supercar handicap accessible.
Hey, you know what? I bet in like Monte Carlo.
Yeah, I was about to say they have to have something that's like that.
They must advertise like we have a really nice driveway into our gas stations. So it must happen somewhere.
I mean, if I had a car of that value, I would still not care as much, and I would eat McDonald's. You ever eat fast food in this thing?
Have I ever gone into a fast food? No, I've not. Because I'm too worried about that. Because you know how usually the drive-through paths, they're like really narrow and curvy.
Oh,
and
this is the widest car of all time.
It's not. Aventadors are wider, but
what?
Yeah, I would have to scope out the drive-through in the Fiat. Be like, all right, this is kosher.
Scope out a fast food drive-through before you actually bring your.
Well, no, I'd get fast food there once, and then I'd be like, all right, in the future, I can go in the other car.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like. Okay, let's just have 2 people. One person in the Fiat, one person in this. Let's park this around the corner.
I'll get Nick to film it out front so I can see the exact clearance. Bring the measuring tape.
Yeah. All right, we'll go back around the corner. We're going to get the McLaren now. Now we'll actually go through and order some food. I'd like to, I'm picturing like going through the drive-thru in the Fiat. No, I don't need to order anything right now. No, sorry, cashier, no, I'll be back in a moment. I just want to make sure that the driveway is wide enough.
And then you come back with your car, your supercar, and they're like, you didn't need to, you could have just done it in the previous one. Like this made you honestly look very weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you should do it. I think you should test it out like that.
One day, maybe you can join me for it.
Please do.
Because I'm going to need 2 people if I'm going to have multiple cars.
Oh yeah. Because I'll take the Ford GT and then you can still have this one and then, yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. Planned out. All right, I want to go 0 to 60.
You want to go? I don't think there's an opportunity to do that.
Oh, right hit a highway ramp.
That would have been the one to do it. Would have been back there.
Oh my God, Jordan!
I didn't even think about that.
We've never gone 0 to 60 in this.
We actually have.
A long time ago, the very first time you showed me.
We actually did like back on.
Oh, you crushed it when you were doing that?
Back on the first turn, we did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What's
You didn't even notice because it happens pretty quickly.
Oh, how quickly does it happen? What are the
yeah, I mean, if you go launch control, it's 2.9. I've never done launch control, actually.
What?
Because I'm worried about it. It's probably a paranoid fear, but in like first generation launch control in cars, it would really be bad for the clutch. And so I'm just paranoid that that's like still an issue, even though they say it isn't.
Wow. Does
I mean,
MP412C have launch control?
I think, yeah.
And that just screws it up?
I don't know about in that one, but you think about it, right? Because for launch control, you're spinning up the revs in the engine while the clutch is detached.
Okay.
And then it mashes the clutch together, and it has to grab the drivetrain. So it's like, that's a lot of torque.
But those are a bunch of words that just combined, I understand them separately.
Uh-huh.
And I totally believe you.
So,
I totally believe everything you're saying. I just, and I understand it now.
So the way that, like, a simplified way that the car goes is the engine has a spinny shaft at the end of it, and then has a sticky plate.
Sticky plate, spinny shaft.
The drivetrain is also a spinny shaft.
Spinny shaft, sticky plate, sticky shaft.
It's a spinny shaft, and it has a sticky plate at the end.
Okay.
When the sticky plates are apart, the car's not moving. When the sticky plates are together with friction, that's when the car moves.
Now, what's the spoiler?
That has nothing to do with the clutch or the sticky plates.
Fair enough, cool.
Although the spoiler does add like another 500 horsepower.
Even the chairs are carbon fiber.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Carbon buckets.
Oh, you're going to kill us.
It's a Fiat.
Are all Fiats Abarths?
No. It's like AMG or M.
Oh, okay, cool. That's really interesting. Oh, and now we're in Century City. Cool.
And this is not Century City. This is still Westwood Wilshire Corridor.
So where's Century City?
I looked at condos in that building once.
I bet you did.
Yeah, it was real nice. But then they have elevators that open directly into the unit, which is a cool feature.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a lot of the buildings along here actually have that, which it is cool.
One of my favorite YouTubers is a car guy, Doug DeMuro. Have you ever seen his stuff?
I have.
He does, like all the quirks of certain cars.
Right.
Do you have specific quirks with this car that you only know of, or that only a 675 owner would know of, or someone that's researched it?
Yes. Big one. Massive one.
Oh, God.
Really inconvenient one.
Really?
No, I'm not being sarcastic. There is a really annoying thing.
Oh, cool.
Other than the ground clearance, but I knew that going into it. The lift. The suspension lift on this, I've counted it out before. It takes 16 or 17 seconds.
Oh!
Which is...
Well, you're going to love the 4GT then.
That thing is... It's like... Actually, I've never seen the lift. I've never seen someone turn on the lift, but the track mode thing is like...
Yep. Which is so cool.
It's the sickest thing. Oh my God. And I'm just going to do that just imagine like pulling up to the valet being like, nah, I'll stay out front. And then you just drop it into track mode. That's honestly, people are going to be so disappointed, but that's where the track mode is going to be used most, is you park it and then you lower it just so it looks cool.
Oh, God.
Because you cannot use track mode to drive on the road. It's like if I think the clearance is low right now.
Oh, it's worse than this?
Oh, yeah.
So what is
I think that it drops the clearance to 2 inches.
What is this, the 3?
It's probably like 3.5, 3.75.
Oh, wow. So what's the Ford GT just normally?
It's actually better than this, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm happy about that.
I love the interior of the new Ford GT. It's like it's very minimalistic, and it has, I believe, Alcantara.
It does.
And
you can some leather. It has carbon fiber. Yeah, it's carbon fiber monocoque. And it's funny because I like
paddle shifters.
I like the interior on it, but I've seen so many complaints from people being like, "Oh, that looks like the interior of like a $20,000 Ford Focus." And I'm like, "Are you really? No, it doesn't at all. It actually looks really nice."
So not good.
I think people just like to find things to nitpick about, honestly.
One of the things that I nitpicked right off the bat, and you just crushed that, was the power. Obviously, it's insane that they're able to get 600 something horsepower out of V6, but like, it's, I think everyone's complaint was like, for the price, that's not a car that the power doesn't match the price. But you were mentioning that it has to do with Le Mans or something.
Yeah, well, someone's maybe gonna correct me on this, but there are homologation rules for Le Mans. Ford wanted the car to showcase their flagship tech, which is a turbocharged engine, and Le Mans has displacement rules that if you want to have a twin turbo car, it can't be over a certain displacement. And so in order to have a twin turbo in Le Mans, you have to have a V6. To my knowledge, you cannot do a twin turbo V8 because that doesn't go along with the rules. So they wanted to have EcoBoost, so it's twin turbo V6 it is. Granted, the car won the GTE class at Le Mans, so obviously they did something right. And then the road car, because there's homologation rules for Le Mans in the GTE class, has to share that engine. So they have to have the twin-turbo V6 in the road car. You know what? I watched the review, the first review from an owner, the dude who got the Lambo orange one. Yep. He seemed pretty stoked on it.
So, that's a good sign.
Yeah, and that dude has an Aventador SV.
And he said that this was his favorite supercar.
Yeah,
his favorite car ever.
Yeah, he did.
So when you get that car, day of, and I think there's a 488 coming, can I be in the passenger seat? Or maybe next day, maybe even next week.
If you want to come, I was like, I don't have a 488 coming. You mean that 488?
Yeah.
Was that Rosa Corsa? That looks like maybe Rosa Scuderia. That looks very nice.
Yeah.
If you want to come along for the pickup, because I will need.
Yeah, please. Oh my God.
I will need the camera person for it.
Oh yeah, I will do that for you all day. Holy shit.
All right.
That would be so cool. And then I'll try to film it to where I'm getting different footage too, so we don't upload the same kind of thing. And then I'll do the announcement video for you.
Good.
Oh my God. And then you know what's really strange? There's a YouTuber, I believe his name is Seen Through Glass. Mm-hmm. He does car videos. He some of his best performing videos are my friend just got such and such car.
Yeah.
So
because you can get that sick thumbnail.
I'll hit that SEO too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, though, I'm so pumped. That is such a dream car, just aesthetically, honestly. Like even if it was a fucking 4-liter, or not 4-liter, just if it was like a shitty.
Is that a 4-cylinder like the Fiat?
4-cylinder, yeah. They're making a new F-Type that's a 4-cylinder.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though, okay? All the engine and power talk aside, very, very few people are of the caliber of the people who are even going to get the car, or of the caliber that they're really going to be able to push the thing to its full capacity. Yeah, and I am not that. I'm not that good of a driver. I've been passenger seat in cars with professional drivers, and I'm like,
and okay, it's totally different.
I can't do that.
Okay. How do you even get? I mean, how do you? You have
to just be on track a lot and always practice. And I mean, you have to know the track really well. Obviously, that helps. But
I don't get my most I've never taken a supercar to a track before, or driven a supercar on a track, but I've driven a stock car on a track, and that's not the same at all because they lean to the left and it's just a completely different ride. But the idea of it has never appealed to me. Like track driving, the thing that appeals to me is driving really fast on roads.
I have fun driving on the tracks when I've gotten to do it. So I'm hoping that Ford will do some events that involve taking the car out, driving it on a track with other owners and stuff. I think that would be super fun. And I'll probably...
Jaguar does that.
Yeah, I'll probably try to go to Willow with it when I can. And because that is what the car is meant for sure. It is, and from all the videos I've seen from the people who've driven it, because I haven't had a chance to drive it so far, they're like, this is the most track-oriented car ever to have been manufactured for road use.
I just can't wait to be 2 feet from it and then never be allowed in.
Because I'm not gonna allow you in.
I mean, I'll scuff it up with my bad blood, my bad generations.
Your blood is gonna perspire through your pores and soak up the seat.
I'll christen it.
Do you have some Ebola disorder that just onsets randomly?
Just lower class family.
Okay.
That's same difference though. But
you were born with this spontaneous hemorrhagic fever
that immediately devalues any car.
It's like your body reacts to seeing something that's nice, and it's just like
the second it touches
must emit
suede,
blood.
It's just I'll touch it, and instead of turning it to gold, it just evaporates, and suddenly the car is just a shell, and it turns into a Ford Focus. Every car turns into a Ford Focus. No offense to Ford Focus drivers.
Dude, the Focus RS, while I have never driven one, I've heard very, very good things about that thing.
I mean, we're driving most of the time Kib's 2003 Honda Civic, and thing runs like a champ for whatever reason. Needs a new transmission. It's got 160,000 miles on it, but...
No, the Focus RS, I've heard really great things. Everyone's like, this is a phenomenal, fun car.
So that road you took me on with all those guys the other day, I took Kib on it the other night.
But you actually went there,
I went back because I live so close. I'm like, fuck it, this is a really fun area to drive. And I took Kib on it, and very, right before we did that, he had a quarter pounder.
Did you make him unbelievably nauseous?
Well, not just that.
You made him throw up.
We drove it was scary fast. Traction control off, and just, I'm gonna die someday. Like, I've already come to terms with that, just based off how. But it was 2 a.m. I mean, if someone's out there driving, like, I'll kill you.
Jesus Christ.
So Kib's like, we gotta stop. Like, this is real. And we stopped, and he threw up for a solid 10 minutes, and he was like, oh, it's so sharp. and I looked at the puke, and it was like a pile. It looked like a dog had thrown up. And it was the only thing I'm gonna remember about that road now, which is amazing. Hey, there's where I got my first car. Or my second car, because I had an FJ Cruiser before the F-Type.
Oh my God. So, all right. Yeah, I would never, ever want to be a passenger on that road, ever. Even if I were the one driving, which I'm like comfortable with my driving abilities on it, I would not want to be in your seat doing that road. It would be awful.
I love driving bad.
But if you're the driver, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay because you can trust yourself.
Well, you also know when you're going to turn. The passenger is just like, ugh.
Which is so weird because I'm pretty sure that Kib has such a low. Well, both of us, we do not care. I don't think if we die, and that's not cool.
Okay.
Like, that's not a cool thing.
That's good to know.
Yeah, we just really like push it, which is fun.
Yeah.
For the moment, until suddenly you go off an edge and then you're paralyzed the rest of your life, and then.
Well, we're going to hope that doesn't happen. There are at least a lot of guardrails on that road, so I feel like it'll be mostly okay. All right. This is, anyone watching this, don't do as he says he does.
Yeah,
just be safe
thinking
when
about
you
my life
drive.
and the decisions I've made.
Yeah, the very first drive that I joined, so for context, I go, maybe if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen the photos, but I go with like a group of people most Sundays. Today's a Sunday, we didn't do it because one of them's out of town. But we go for a little drive on this canyon road, and the first time we did it, Sonia came along, and in her GTR, and Mini Lad came in the passenger seat, and they had both had 3 hours of sleep the night before.
Oh God!
And I just the entire time was like, Craig, I don't know how you're existing, how you're dealing with this situation right now.
3 hours of sleep.
I would be so petrified. I would be so petrified.
I'm in a passenger seat right now. I had 3 hours of sleep last night because I was up editing. And I'm devastatingly tired, and I couldn't even begin to.
But if I had 3 hours of sleep, and you had 3 hours of sleep, it'd be very, very unpleasant. Yeah, you sent me a message that I woke up to. It was at 3 a.m., and I'm like, really? You're going to be here at 10 a.m. to film this thing when you're messaging me at 3 a.m.?
This is my day-to-day.
That sounds great.
Yeah, it's 8 a.m. to about 2 to 3 a.m. usually editing, most days. But now I have an editor. Last night. It was her birthday, so I'm
impressed. You actually handed off some responsibility on that,
which is terrifying. But her name is Autumn, and she was she's the best.
I hope she doesn't fall.
Yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
Autumn fall. You completely.
So
missed
anyway, Autumn is just hands down the best editor I've ever met.
Nice.
So talented, has comedic timing, and I was like, I have to snatch her up. So, I wish I could. It's so funny. I'll tell you off camera, but I outbid her, and using the same. Okay, it's something I'll bring up on a podcast at a later date, but
okay.
I'm not supposed to mention specifics.
Fair enough. It's okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna wind things down here though, on that abrupt ending.
Yeah. Well, secret things are happening. Oh, I'm going to be at RTX.
I am not going to be at RTX, so have fun.
Why not?
But maybe some of the people watching this will be, and they can say hi to you. And yeah. So, I mean, do you have anything you want to plug? You have a YouTube channel.
I do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's MLG Hunt.
Oh, yeah. It's still technically...
It is that.
Yeah. But you can just type in my name on it, Steven Suptic. And I do...
Not Steven Suck Dick.
Yeah.
Steven
well, I mean,
Suptic.
They're interchangeable, and I am still totally fine that rhymes. But you can check it out. I'm sure Jordan won't put up a link, but if on the off chance he does, I'm probably in the description or something.
Maybe.
I make vlogs, alternative lifestyle videos.
They're pretty quality content, I have to say.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Chicken boy.
I'm a big fan of this podcast, too.
Thank you.
I didn't know who Gareth Edwards was.
Gareth Emery.
Gareth Emmerich. I didn't know who Edward Norton was, but I am very much looking forward to whoever is not me on this.
All right.
Who are you going to get next?
I was thinking maybe Barack Obama.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what's he doing now?
I mean, not much, obviously.
Wearing Thrasher shirts and making skateboarding videos, I think.
That'd be so sick.
With, who's that billionaire, that eccentric billionaire?
I honestly don't know.
Bill Gates.
Oh, that eccentric billionaire. Yeah, him. Okay, folks. Well, thanks for watching. Thank you for joining me. Wait, we should do another one.
Oh, yeah. There you go, dude. And then we can skank after this. What was it called?
Shank. We can skank after this?
Can't even remember my own terms.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, I've had 3 years of sleep.